Bro, you know what sucks about sports betting is that you put in all this research, you put in all this time, you get these, I have a team of people that help me out to get all the information. I pay for programmers, I get some scrapers done. I've shown in my other videos where it's like, dude, I have all this information, I have all these strong plays. I look at the line moves, I look at the head to head. Literally, I'm doing all the stuff that you're supposed to. I know how to do the bankroll management. I know all this stuff. And then there's a fucking losing day or 2 days or 3 days. So for me, we were on a 7 day winning streak. And if you see my videos, you can see I had a 7 day winning streak, which feels great. It feels like you're on top of the world. It feels like you're can't lose and all this stuff. Then all of a sudden I had 2 days where it was a break even day and then another break even day. And then finally yesterday was a 3 and 6 day, which is not horrible. I mean, I lost 3 units yesterday, but then we come right back. And what sucks is that especially when you get that half, that one leg of a parlay or one team that loses by half a point, you know what I'm talking about. It's just ridiculous. So I do have some teams in the NBA that I'm going to talk to you about. I really like these teams. However, like I said, right now, what I noticed is when I'm doing all this research, doing all this, putting in all this time, I have a bunch of programs and all this stuff. I look at a lot of information. So again, if you haven't seen my other videos, make sure you check those out. You can see that I literally talk about a lot of stuff and I go through a lot of data. The problem again is that when they lose, it's demotivating. But I've been doing this for such a long time. I knew that the 7 day winning streak was going to come to an end. And I'm not going to give up at all. That's not my point here. You just have to have the correct mindset and you have to keep pushing forward. And sometimes it's very obvious. Like, for example, I had OKC Thunder, they lost. I had the Cavaliers, they lost. I had the Pistons, they lost. And they were clearly, very, very clearly favorites. But it's like, what the fuck can you do when these super heavy favorite teams are losing? So, anyways, what I do is I actually take a step back and I realize that it has a lot to do with the playoffs. So right now, because of the playoffs, it's like some teams already have given up. They call it tanking. For example, the Wizards, I already have a futures bet that they're going to get Cooper Flag as a draft pick. The reason that is that they have one of the worst records. So obviously they're going to get first dibs on if they get the first draft pick. Pretty much everybody knows that Cooper Flag is going to be the first draft pick. What I'm trying to say overall, like I said, is that when the playoffs are this close, or even after the All-Star break, I already did my notes for next year, is that usually after the All-Star break is when the teams start either giving up or they put in their bench. They start sitting out their starters. They're starting to think about the playoffs and stuff like that. So you got to be very careful with these plays. I'm going to give you the plays right now, but you want to make sure that you understand that you might not want to go full units right now because they're in the playoff contentions. Some teams are not even in there anymore. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of considerations that they don't want to overplay players because then they might get injured. So there's a lot of considerations like that you want to definitely be aware of. So right here, guys, man, this is actually one of my best plays. This has been working for me for 2 years now. Two seasons, I should say. So in baseball, this has been very powerful. And it took me a long time to figure this stuff out. But basically what I'm doing right here is I'm searching for the best batters for the day. And I'm going on DraftKings and I'm looking up who's supposed to get 2 hits. And I've actually gone through this with different sports and it's been hitting very good. So I'm actually giving you a strategy right here. You want to definitely pay attention. I'm going to show you 2 slips that I hit on yesterday, but I'm going to tell you how I found these plays. And I'm actually going to do this right after this video. And I'll start giving these away as well. So make sure you subscribe for that. So for example, I have Fernando Tatis and I had Luis Arraez. So I know Luis Arraez, he's very powerful. You can see right there, he's got 2 hits yesterday. And then Fernando Tatis, he had 2 hits. Here's the other one, Aaron Judge. Everybody knows this dude's a monster. 1 hit. And then we had Mookie Betts, 1 hit. So again, guys, the way I found these is that I went on DraftKings, or you can go to MGM or Caesars, and then you look up who's supposed to get 2 hits. And then when you do that, you actually start your research from there. So I have a whole list of all the batters that are supposed to get 2 hits. So again, this goes across other sports too. Like for example, I do other thing called shots on goal. I look up who's supposed to get 3 shots on goal, and then I start my research there. And basically, it's real simple. You look at what. So for this case in baseball, I had Aaron Judge and Mookie Betts. Then I had Fernando Tatis and Luis Arias. So basically, I had a list of like 10 batters or 15 batters, and then all of them are supposed to get 2 hits. That's how I start the research. Then you go and look at who they're facing, and then you see their stats against that pitcher. So they call them splits. So when you see the split between this batter and that pitcher, there's a history there. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes it gives you a percentage, and then you can see how bad the pitcher is and stuff. Now that goes on a whole nother conversation based on the pitcher. So then you link up the batter with the pitcher. And then once you do that, so if you have a great batter going against a weak pitcher, then that's when you mark them down like yes. So in this case, again, Tatis, Arias, Judge, and Betts. All 4 of those guys were awesome batters, plus they're going against weaker pitchers. And then the last step was look at their last 10 games. And then that's when I came up with these plays. So then they're so expensive. As you can see, this guy, 329. This guy is 366. This guy was 250, and this guy was 220. So the only way that this actually makes sense is to parlay them together. Otherwise, you have to win at a 80% hit rate if you're going to go. There's some people out on YouTube giving you that advice to start doing minus 250s, minus 300s. I don't agree with that advice. You have to be very, very solid, and you have to know what the hell you're doing in order to hit at that high rate like that. But if you parlay them together, look at I can't show you the odds right here, but 250 and 250, I think it was like minus 120 or something like that. And then finally, we had the Cubs. So we also did have a lot of losses. So yesterday we had 3 wins and we had 6 losses. Like I started this video explaining, it wasn't a good day. But if you see my overall record, like I told you, 7 days winning, 2 days break even, and then yesterday was a losing day. So again, it's demotivating because I'm dedicating all this time to create the content, giving you guys plays. I'm putting in the plays my damn self. And then not only am I paying for the information that I'm getting, I have to filter it out, spend my time giving it to you guys, and then we still lose. So it does suck. It's demotivating, but we push forward, guys. If you guys enjoy this information, I'm going to give you guys a play right now that you guys want to definitely check out. So here we go, guys. Again, it's very, very, I'm only doing half a unit on this because it's a little salty when you have like a super heavy favorite team and then they end up actually losing straight up. It's been a little bit salty like that the last couple of days. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. I'm going to tell you straight up, just go ahead and put a half a unit on this one. It's going to be a 3-leg. Normally, I don't even like doing 3 legs, but in this scenario, it makes sense. So I'm going to take Cleveland. I've already did a whole live on this earlier today. So if you want to check out, I did like a 40-minute live earlier today. So you want to check that out, go to my channel and click on live. And I explained this in a lot more detail. But basically, Cleveland is going against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls have been doing very decent recently, actually. But then you see this guy's questionable, this guy's questionable. And the important one, too, is this guy is actually out. So Kobe White being out is dramatic. Now you can see Mitchell is also out, but Cleveland actually has a lot more depth than the Bulls. I'm from Chicago, so I'm telling you straight up, the Bulls came on a big incline, but now they're flattening out. And I pay attention to that team because I love them, but right now they are not doing good. They were doing good, but not no more. And then especially with these 2 dudes being questionable and this dude being out, that's going to be a dramatic difference. So the first leg of this is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm actually going to show you my slip on what it looks like. I actually got this one since last night, and I'll just give it to you right on the end of this. I do like the Pacers. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to go through all of it again. Go check out my video. It's under my channel, and then click on live. I talked about Indiana Pacers heavily. I love the Pacers today, but I'm not going to go through all that again. I'm skipping over this game for many reasons. I'm skipping over this game. I do like Grizzlies to win here, but I'm not taking it. I'm skipping over this toxic-ass game. Pelicans have been horrible. Nets have been horrible. This one is very toxic as well. Look at everybody's questionable right here. The Knicks are supposed to win, but there's a lot of contradictions. I'm not going into all that. This one, the Timberwolves should win this game, but I'm not touching it. The line shifted. There's a lot of stuff like that. OKC Thunder has actually burned me twice this last 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, this last week. So I'm staying away just because of those reasons, even though all of these dudes are questionable or out. Look at this. Pretty much their whole damn team looks like a damn hospital ward over here. So now I love this team right here today. Golden State had burned me the other day. I had them at a -6.5. They lost. So again, like I said, it sucks, especially there were such heavy favorites. But today, I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of indications that the Warriors are going to take this. Curry is in, Butler is in, and then the big one over here is Durant is out. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details. I've already done that in the other video. But basically, Durant is out, and not only that, but Suns are on a big dip. They're losing a lot of games. They're not doing good. And now that Durant is out, this should be a pretty easy game for the Warriors. So that's going to be the second leg, guys. It's going to be Golden State Warriors. And then I had the Grizzlies. Then I had the Cavaliers. And the last one here, guys, is the Clippers. Again, I'm not going to go through all the details. The Spurs are a little bit better recently, but they're no match for the Clippers. So those are the three teams. It's going to be the Clippers, the Warriors, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or you can also look at doing the Grizzlies. So you can see real quick, guys, I'm just going to show you the estimates here, the projections. You can see that the Cavaliers are supposed to win 121 to the 106 Bulls. That's the projection. The Grizzlies right here, they're supposed to win 114 to 106, but then check this out. It tells you right here, the four little red circles, what that means is that they haven't covered the spread 4 out of the last 5 games. So you got to be real careful with that. The Spurs and the Clippers, like I said, look at the Clippers. They're supposed to win by 14 points right here. They do cover spreads. Look at San Antonio. They've only covered 3 of 5. And the last one here, guys, we don't care about this spread right here. We need them just to win. So right here, it's even projected that they win 117 to 112. And look at this, all the red circles right here. That means that the Suns have not covered the spread in the last 5 games. And the Warriors have covered 4 of the last 5 games. All right, guys, man, I appreciate the 1,200. We're going about 1,300 people already in this channel. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm pretty much giving up on TikTok already. I was banned, actually, and I was going to regrow it again. But I said, nah, I'm going to dedicate my time here on YouTube. So the only way I can make this work, guys, is if you comment, you share, and then you let me know that you appreciate this content. That's the only way that the algorithm knows that you guys appreciate this information and pushes out my information more. So if you guys can please help me out, I'm trying to hook you guys up with a lot of information and a lot of free plays and stuff like that. So please help me out as well. Comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, man. Let's have a great day.